Welcome to the Professionalist Real Estate Investing Podcast with your host, Tony Jacobs. This podcast is not just about making money. It's about creating a legacy that stands the test of time. From analyzing market trends to mastering negotiation skills, we will leave no stone unturned as we guide you through different stages of real estate investing. We will bring on industry leaders and share stories from the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. So now, it's time to level up your real estate game. And there's no better way to do it than right here with us at the Professionalist Real Estate Investing Podcast.
Yeah, the Professionalist Real Estate Investing Podcast. I'm with my guy, who? Rocky, how you doing today, bro?
Doing great, man.
That's good. That's good.
Good to be here.
Right. So, yeah, we're just going to get into things, well, especially with this one. We were just talking about even before we hit the record button. The question that me and you was talking about, because it needs to be dealt with, because a lot of people think you can just dive into it. Should a person just dive into real estate, or how should they go about even getting into the real estate game?
Yeah, that's a great question. Great question to get into, because that's the question I had, a couple of years ago, talking about earlier. Just like I was like, oh, sweet, let's get into real estate investing, but where do you start? What do you do?
Yeah.
What kind of foundation do you need before you start jumping into it? Because you can't just jump into it.
Right.
Think, all right, I got a business in front of me, and I've got cash flow. I'm good. I'm doing it. And that does not happen.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. And then you just can't go onto YouTube or listen to seminars where people are talking about, well, this is how it's done, this and that and everything. Well, it might have worked for you, but everything doesn't work for everyone.
Yeah. And you gotta do it. Like a lot of times, if you don't do it on your own, if you don't invest in yourself first,
yes,
it doesn't happen. Because I always tell people, you want to buy something together or do something together. Like, oh, I'll pay for it all, and then your friends or whatever, like, oh, sweet, you'll pay for it, and I'll pay you later. And
yes.
then like say your plans fall through, and now you're stuck with the bill. Until they throw money into the game, they're like, okay, we're going to do it now because I paid into it. Like going to the gym, right? That's why people go to the gym and throw that year-long commitment to the gym and all that money, because
yes,
now I'm invested. I gotta go.
Yeah, yeah.
Money's in the game, skin's in the game.
And like, especially with real estate, like there's so many different avenues, so many different levels to it. You have to be around the right people too, the right mindset. You got to know what your goals are. Your goals are in real estate have to correspond actually with what you have going on in life.
Yeah, definitely.
So it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of patience. Nothing's done overnight. The get rich, if something comes fast, the get rich quick schemes and everything, those are flaws. Yeah. That's exactly what those are.
Yeah, I think someone told me before, they're like, brokers that invest your money for you and stuff like that.
Yes.
He's like, if that was the case, you know how many multimillionaires there should be?
More than what there is.
If someone says, I can take your money and make you more money, you know, as multimillionaires, I don't think I ran across anybody that has a broker that they're like, I am quitting my job next year because my broker made me millions of dollars off my inheritance or something like that. It's always, they made a little bit. And the broker's just making more money than you because he ain't doing nothing except taking your money.
Exactly.
Investing your money, gains and losses, right? He's
Mm-hmm.
still getting his cut. And I was like, so eventually it's like, what it came down to is like, are you going to trust someone else to invest your money? Or are you going to invest your own money? Because either way, you're going to win some, you're going to lose some. But
exactly.
Who's taking that cut? Who's cutting the middle? The broker's the middleman. He's taking money no matter what. I was like, yeah.
And especially, you're going to have trials and tribulations. Yeah. Everything is not everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, it's going to come. It's going to come. And you want that because you know what? You have it underneath your belt and you know exactly what to experience. Yeah. Because everything's about experience.
Yeah. Yeah. Going back to having your life in order.
Yes.
Like I didn't start thinking I'll be 35 November 4th.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's my brother's birthday.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, my brother David's birthday. Yeah, 4th.
Scorpios.
Yeah, right.
So I'll be 30. I'll be 30. 35 on the 4th. But I didn't start thinking about investing until a couple of years ago.
Wow.
I always had 401ks. I always had a savings account, little brokerage account, stuff like that. But I really didn't think about investing until my age now. I'm married with 2 kids, a 4-year-old and soon to be 2-year-old. I didn't start thinking about it. And like we were talking earlier, I wish I was in my 20s, my 21. I wish I was 21 with this mindset I have now, because that 10 years, I could have been really just grinding and thinking about my investment and long term. You know how they always say, like, going out of high school, right when you're 18, like, start saving. It's like, who's 18 years old? I was too busy trying to buy 20 years rims for my car.
Exactly. I'm trying to floss. That's what you're trying to do.
It's trying to buy a duplex.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If we knew what we knew now when we was 20, the world would be a whole different place. Yeah, that's what I teach. I'm teaching both of my daughters. I have one that's she will be 19, and then another one she's 21. But I'm teaching them that they're learning things about life. I have one right now. The one where, January I'll be a granddaddy. Ooh. I said not grandpa, a granddaddy.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you. And she's like, Dad. She's already asking questions about real estate right now as we speak. So I'm giving her little nuggets here and there and everything.
Little gold nuggets, man.
Yes. And I commend her because she's so young. If I knew everything that I'm giving her of information, food for thought, man, I'm glad that she's taking it in now, because I want her and my other daughter, I want them to have a great future. So that was one of the reasons why I wanted to invest in me with real estate, getting my real estate license, starting my real estate business, and going from there, doing my podcast, YouTube, because I listen to a lot of podcasts and YouTube, just going off just a little bit. Mm-hmm. And information is power, and they're definitely right, but you have to tell people about that information.
Yeah.
You can't just leave it bottled up, because just think some of the information that we talk about, we may not think it's vital, but it could be vital to someone else. So that one person, 100%. That can change their mindset, their thought, their life.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad that my daughter, she texts me. She goes, Dad, how do you go about this in real estate? I said, I'm gonna give you little nuggets here and little nuggets there and everything. And I said, when I see you in January, I'll even talk to you more. So, yeah.
There's a saying. It says, don't teach your kids, or don't give your kids everything that you didn't have. Teach them everything that you didn't know.
Exactly.
When you're growing up, because the materialistic things, those will come and go. But like that knowledge that you wish you would have had when you were younger, that could change it. That could change your life, your next generation to come.
Yes.
Because I'm the first. I'm one of the first of my family to graduate from college, but into the medical field. I have no one in the medical field.
Wow.
So it was hard for me, because when I was in nursing school, all my classmates, like, oh, my mom's an ER nurse, oh, my uncle's a doctor, so they had that at their fingertips their entire life. And me, I was a labor worker, I do a forklift, I did all that stuff, digging holes, ditches and stuff. I was like, this is what I do, this is gonna be my life. And I was like, no, I'm gonna switch it up. And now in the medical field, my sons, they get to see me do that, and I hear them utter the words like, "I'm going to be a doctor like you, Daddy." I'm a nurse. Like, he's like, "I want to be a doctor. I want to do this. I want to do." I was like, "Oh my God! If you become a doctor,
right?
If you become a doctor, your mama's sick."
Right.
But they can say that because they can see it, and it was hard for me to even get to the healthcare field. I always thought, "Oh, that's for smart people. That's for people that are already in it."
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know me and you worked around the hospital field for years, and a lot of people feel that way. And, they're just average people. They study and everything. And that mindset of studying, we just flipped it over to real estate. That's basically what we did.
Yeah.
We just flipped it over to real estate.
Yep, 100%. I didn't think I'd be able to buy a home, a nice home. I didn't think I'd be able to do that. Now I'm thinking about buying multiple homes. I was like, the same mindset like I was in nursing school. I was like, I don't know if I can do this. I've never been around doctors and nurses before. I don't know if I can do it. I'm killing it. I'm a good nurse.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, I could do that with real estate. I could do it. I could buy another home. I'm this close.
You know what? And I tell, and you speak it into existence. You speak it into existence, and you don't. And I tell people, don't listen to that outside noise. Oh yeah, there's people that talk. For instance, when I was studying, and I've said this before on my podcast but it's really like a person should never give up, especially in anything that they do, especially, because we're in the real estate platform rate after investing. Do not listen to the outside noise. I never, ever thought I was going to be a real estate agent. Never. Yeah. But then when I started studying, and then I was like, okay, this is how it's done. And I had faults. I studied everything. I passed the courses of the real estate, but when it came to the test, failed the first one, failed the second one, failed the third one. Yeah. The fourth one, I passed because the first one, I did not know what I was getting myself into because what I was studying is not what was on the test.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Then second, I improved a little bit. And then the third one was basically, I should write a mini book about it because the third one, I remember I was down in Sacramento and I get a phone call and the lady said to me, she says, Tony, I'm sorry, but we're not going to be able to do tests. And I was like, oh, well, you got to make this happen because I just drove 2 hours away from here. Mm-hmm. And she goes, okay, I got to see what I can work out. We had somebody moving coming from Riverside down in Southern California. And they had to tell the lady no. And she was bawling and crying. Oh, yeah. Because at the time with COVID, it was still going full throttle, but it was past its highest peak. They were only allowing 10 people to take a test, the real estate test in Sacramento. The only part of all of California was only in Sacramento. So I was able to take it and I didn't pass it. But that fourth try, all I did was study a little bit more because when you take the real estate test, they actually give you your score. Mm-hmm. But when you pass, you pass. You don't care. It's 70 or above. You could be 70 or 100%. They don't care. You pass.
Yeah, it don't matter.
And when I went and I studied just a little bit more in a week's time. So Sunday, I said, let me get my stuff together. Sunday, and that Thursday, I took the test and I passed it. But I never gave up.
Yeah.
And that's like anything, even in real estate investing, anything that we're doing, just anything in life, you never give up on anything. Yeah. You're your own worst enemy, your own worst critic, and don't listen to the outside noise. Those are the ones that, you know what? I think they just hate their life, to tell you the truth. Yeah. Because there's a lot of people out there that don't want other people to succeed. But when you have somebody genuine, caring about you and everything, like even with you, like we got connected through a friend. Yeah. And then we started talking and everything from then. It's been since day one.
Yeah. Number love.
Yeah. Sure. So what that outside noise, like I tell people, do not listen to it. It doesn't get you anywhere. If anything, it's just there's a whole lot of negativity in this world that's going on right now. Sideswipe it. I tell people, even when I wake up in the morning, people are like, well, how are you doing today? I said, how am I doing? I said, I woke up. There's some people that don't wake up in the morning. I said, I feel blessed to wake up in the morning. It's another day. So, yeah. And then, like you said, the mindset of going into real estate investing, just changing it. Like you change it from nursing to real estate. I mean, you still are, but you change your strength.
Yep.
You're like, oh, what do I need? What do I need to do to produce and help my family better out in life?
Yes. Like that's exactly what it was.
And even
like, what else? What other avenue I can take to have the successful outcome?
Yes.
As nursing did.
Yeah.
And there's you can do this 1,000 things you can do.
Oh yeah.
But just real estate is something that I was always interested in. Just like healthcare, I was always interested in it, but not really. I don't know if I can do it. But now taking it on and I'm learning. That's the biggest thing. Learning. Yeah. Getting comfortable to where like now in a position where you're going to actually make a move on something, if it comes up. But yeah, for sure, like switching my gears to investing in real estate.
And it's a marathon. That's exactly what it is.
Marathon.
It's a marathon. It's a long marathon. It takes you got to. Oh, you got to take baby steps. Mm-hmm. You got to take baby steps. You don't want to just gradually just go into something. You have to take baby steps. And you know what? You need to, that information, you need to apply it to yourself. Yeah. Apply it to yourself, and then apply it to others that want that food for thought. There's a lot of people out there want that food for thought. They just don't know how to go about asking or approaching how to come about it. I talk to people about it all the time, and if they want to know any more information, I got the information. And if I don't got the information, I'll do the best as possible to get the best information for you or lead you in the right direction.
Yeah, I think we talk about it too, like surrounding yourself around people that want the best for you, but also surround around people that are doing it too, or not even just doing it, but like are interested in too.
Exactly.
We're interested in the same thing. We're not rolling in the dough now, but man, just being around you, I tell you all the time when we meet up, dude, I need my fire, my cam's flickering.
Exactly. I
gotta hang out with Tony again. I gotta start talking about real estate, get my fire going again, get my interest back up, and every once in a while we'll talk about something. And I'm like, dude, yeah, you're right. Like you hooked me up with your loan officer.
Yes.
And I called her up. She was the first person I talked to about actually running numbers. Like, okay, here's my credit. Here's how much I made. She's like, okay, this is what you want to do. This is your price range. This is what you need to come up with for me. I was like, awesome. I had numbers to shoot for, and getting to that point for a lot of people, they're not even to a point where they can talk to a loan officer.
No,
right? But I'll do. I'm like, okay, I've done it. Like talking to you, I would have never had the connection with her. I never would have talked about it. I would have never actually have numbers to play with. As far as like hitting a goal, like now I have a goal number.
Yes.
It's like I gotta hit that. If I hit that, she said she told me if I hit this number, we can go get you a investment property. I was like, that's crazy. Like
she's good at what she does.
That's what she said. She's like, get that number, call me back, and let's start talking. And I was like, oh my, done deal.
Yeah.
So now that's my goal. That's my little mini goal to hit that number.
And that's right there. That's a blueprint. That's a blueprint that you go by. Like, and you know how it started from. Of course, I talked to you, but then you went to her. I was like, you need to talk to her.
Yeah.
She'll be able to run the numbers, see what you're working with.
Yep.
And then you can know what you're working with too, from how much you make, how much is dealt with in life, like from all your bills and everything.
Because she broke it down. She's like, okay, realistically, what do you want to make? What's your goal and stuff like that? And had all that planned out, ready to go. And then, I had an X amount of money I wanted to invest and how big of a home or property I want to get. And then she's like, well, that sounds great, Rocky, but this is what realistically you can afford and stuff and what she can offer. And she was just the first person to talk to you. I want to talk to more loan officers and see what, the options are and stuff like that. But just talking that first one was the first step because it just lit that little fire on it. Oh, that's so it's obtainable. It's right there.
And I like,
are you kidding me? You tell me. Can I get that, Ryan? You tell me if I come up with this money, we can start looking.
Yeah, that ball starts going. Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, I can do that. I can still do that. So.
Attention realtors. First impressions are so important for real estate sales. Having a clean logo with easy-to-read information can impress a buyer and potentially get you that sale. Here at Boundary Waters, we excel at first impressions. If you need a logo or lawn signs, give us a call. Our experience at Signs and Banners have been proven for over a decade. Give us a call, 530-221-2151. Again, that's 530-221-2151. Boundary Waters Screen Printing, home of the Surf Ninja. www.boundarywatersinc.com.
Yeah, and I like and like what you said too when you said realistically.
Yeah,
because that's what it comes down to. Because people they can tell you all types of numbers. I know too that it all comes down to also with the vibe, the communication also. Because there's people out there that if you probably went to another person, we don't know. They could have been better than her. They could have been, and they probably could have just been horrible. But you would never know. That's like not to throw off subject, but when it came to like even with me with the brokerage, like I knew where I wanted to go, but I want to talk to a couple other people and see how they were going to present themselves. Yeah, they all got challenge flags, and I was like, yeah, I got too many flags going on here. I'm gonna have to go with my gut feeling. But I just want to see the other side, the other direction, to see how other brokers were talking, what they had to offer, and that's good with the loan officer. That she's really good at what she does. And what's crazy about her story is that when she bought a house, her friend was helping her, but the reason how she got into as a loan officer is because her friend actually did horrible, and she felt so overwhelmed by how she got her house and everything from her friend, who was supposed to be a friend, a close friend, and everything. That's how she got to be a loan officer. That's how. And ever since, and then everybody that knows her here in town, they love her. Yeah, they love her because she's truthful. Yeah, and she keeps everything realistic.
Realistic. She was personable, and like I felt like I almost had to fudge some things. Like I'm starting this business. Like, I just got an LLC. She's like, okay. She's like, yeah. Everyone. She's like, literally. She was like, everyone starts somewhere.
Exactly. And everyone starts somewhere.
And it just kind of calmed me down. I was like, okay, well, I have this much money, and so she just, like you said, realistically, she just broke it down, and wasn't the number that I was wanting, but again, let me start somewhere. But it was.
But at least you wasn't.
Oh, now I know, and I've been running. I think I talked to her. Probably like beginning of this year. I haven't talked to her since because I've been grinding to get that money up.
Yeah, ever since then. Well, I talked to her. It's been a few months back, but she's moved on. She's running her own branch now.
I know. Yeah. I don't know if I can get to her now. She might deal with better people.
No. Gotta be scared of ring. She definitely will remember. But at least you got into the right direction to start into real estate. Yeah. You was talking with me, then I got you in the direction of talking to a loan officer, hanging around the right people. That works. It's a Bible proverb that I always go by. I know everybody, you're going to hear this all the time from me, but it's so truthful. Bad association spoils useful habits. Basically, who you surround yourself. Bad association spoils useful habits. So what it means is basically whoever you are around, you adapt. That's who you adapt to. Yeah. That's exactly what it means. So if you have great habits and you hang around the wrong crowd, those habits are gonna just come right off of you, and you're gonna be a part of who you're surrounded by. So if you're around a whole bunch of people who deal with real estate or talk about real estate or making those moves into real estate and everything, and they're good people and they're are honest, especially in real estate. Yeah. Honest, reliable, and realistic. Like that goes a long ways. That's going to take you in that direction where you need to a positive mindset. You're going to teach people, other people who don't know about real estate that want to learn. It just all together, that whole circle, it's going to be healthy.
Yeah. There's people that want to get into it, and I talk about it, and once in a while at work and stuff. Just like, this is what I want to do and stuff. And some people are like, what are you doing? And the ones that are just that actually are what's it called? Like they actually want to hear about it and hear what you want to do. You can tell by the vibe. And then the other ones and then you have the other ones are like, oh, what are you doing? Oh, okay, that's cool. And they just kind of walk off like
I love those ones. I love those ones because those are the ones that are going to be working for the man for the next 20 years. and they're going to be like robots.
But you know what? If I don't become, super, super successful in this thing, I tried, had a mindset. I'd rather be, this is what my wife told me. She said, Rocky, you're never happy. What are you talking about? I got a decent job, beautiful wife, two awesome, beautiful sons and everything. She's like, you're never happy. Because you always want more. She's like, you always want more for yourself, for us. But it just takes you wherever it takes you. She's like, I'm coming on with the ride because you always want more. You always want to do the right thing. That was key. She's like, you want more, but you want to do it the right way. Yes. And I was like, yeah. I got so many different advices about getting an investment property, and some I was like, oh, that's a great idea. I want to implement that. And then some other people like, if you do this, put this on your name here, but you really just kind of, you don't live there, but you rent it out. And the bank thinks you live there, but you rent it out, and then you can get that 3% down versus 20% down. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. That sounds shady. And tax evasion, you go to prison for that one.
I remember you came to me with that one, and I was like, no.
I was like, what you cool, man, but
exactly.
I don't want to be in the penal system.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah, to each his own, but he can have that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what it comes down to. Being around the right circle, mindset. That mindset is huge because, especially like I said, there's so many distractions. There's so many distractions when it comes to just any goals that person have in life. There's so many distractions. The internet. I mean, just
and like the one thing I was talking about, like for me, it was big on my family because like my wife, she will have my back. Anything I do. But at the same time, she kind of grounds me a little bit because, like I said, I got to tell you earlier, if someone told me today, hey, Rocky, I'll buy your house for 30-40% than when you buy it for, I'd be like, done deal. That's X amount of money that I'm going to make on that money. That's my, I'm going to make so much money on this house. I can buy 2 more houses, the duplex, and all. I'll sell today and just start hitting this real estate investing hard. My wife, she's like, no, we're not gonna do that. Let's start off and let's break and save money first and all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, you're right. But like, if it was up to me, I'd be like, let's go. We're going hard. We're gonna go in and we're just gonna sell everything.
Exactly. Sit down and do the numbers. Yeah, hold on. We getting 3 or 4 times valued in this house? Let's sit down for a second. Yeah. Quick.
So she having her have my back, but grounded at the same time was like, because in my mind, like I think anyone that's in any kind of investing, they have to have that personality to where like they're gonna give it their all.
Yes.
Right. So I have that in me for sure, but my wife definitely keeps me to where like don't go all unless you're ready, unless this is really what you're gonna do. And a lot of times I gotta like prep myself and get ready before I do anything big like that.
You gotta fall back and think things over.
Yeah. And it's a process. You say just like you can't just jump in it tomorrow.
No.
You have to get your life set up, as far as your family, the people you're gonna be around with, your environment, and probably like 90% of the people that do get into invest like around like us, like just your decent job, decent salary and stuff, and try to get into it. A lot of times, you have to have that income to even get that home that you're living in versus a rental property.
Yeah.
So get your finances set up to where you can do that. I went to the bank when I talked to another banker, brokerage, when I did my home, my interest rate.
Refinance
my home. And he was like, if you do get rental property and stuff, like this is what he told me. He's like, the bank wants you to have at least 3 months of your income saved just in case. I think the other brokerage was like, 3 months might save for like a cushion, like just in case you can't let it out right away or whatever. And like, I didn't think of that. I was like, because my plan was, I'm gonna get a house, I'm gonna fix it up, I'm gonna rent out that month, so I'll be fine. But then I was like, you're right. If it is if something does
if
come
it's
up,
vacant, yeah,
that's not a bad idea.
no,
So if it went from like I could do it today to like looks like I got to wait a couple months to where like okay, now I have to save a little more money to do this to get a good deal and be safe.
mm-hmm.
So now I'm a couple months into another year. So just like getting it ready, getting my wife, my finances, my family, and everyone ready and kept like, hey, if we did this, let's do it the right way, a safe way, so we don't come out successful at the end.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so yeah, that's why you shouldn't dive into real estate. It's gonna take you a minute. It's gonna take you a minute. You gotta check all the boxes, and then get it with the right people, and sky's the limit because there's so many different avenues when it comes to real estate investing. Yeah,
stay hungry.
Yeah, you always got to stay. That's one thing. Yeah, stay hungry. Like you haven't eaten in a while. You've got to keep on going at it. I go at it every single day. There'll be days where I'm like, I don't want to. But hey, you know what? I put some food for thought in this brain of mine, at least even if it's 15, 20 minutes. Like it happens it happens to me all the time. So, and then sometimes I'm like, listen to some reason. It's like, hold on, let me listen to this podcast I really like. Because there's a few out there that I really like that they amp me up. And I'm like, okay.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, they amp me up.
Man, you're right. I can do that. Yeah,
exactly. Like even like anything that you guys stay hungry in. And we're talking about real estate investing, and then like I listen to this gentleman Sean. He's on Think Media, and he's awesome. He's great at what he does. He started off YouTube with videos in the first church, and you look at the videos he started, but see, he had to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And he says, and his motto is, he goes, all you have to do is press record.
Yeah.
And he says like this, is all the fear and everything. When you look at the camera, eventually that'll go away. It's just, there's a purpose for a reason why you're making a YouTube or a podcast. It's to help others out, and it's to help you out too. But you got to make that first step. So. Yeah, so it's another episode wrapped in the books. And hey, world out there, hey, you take care and God bless. All right, everybody have a good one.